evidence locker in a Nintendo of America facility, catalogued, buried, and forgotten. The label reads, "Data corruption detected. Attempt recovery, October 26, 1998. 2 years after Super Mario 64 shipped to 11 million homes." So why is there footage of a build that nobody has ever seen? I've been sitting on this for 3 months. I've had lawyers call me. I've had my drives wiped twice. And I'm uploading this anyway because some things need to be seen. What you're about to watch is not a creepypasta. This is recovered footage. And once you understand what Nintendo was actually building in 1996, you will never look at that cartridge the same way again. Subscribe to Null Point Files. More recovered leaks are coming. Stay with me. This is Bob on Battlefield. You've been here. You know what it's supposed to look like. Blue sky, cannons firing, that cheerful brass loop that gets stuck in your head for days. This is not that. There are no enemies, no objects. The geometry is there, the hills, the bridge, the mountain, but it feels assembled wrong. Like someone sketched the idea of a level and forgot to finish the thought. Game researchers call this a liminal space, an environment that exists between states. It's not a loaded world. It's not an empty world. It's a dead engine running code it no longer understands. Mario moves, but the physics feel loose. Like the gravity doesn't know what it's supposed to be holding down. And then, at the base of the mountain, there's a shadow. It doesn't belong to anything. It moves anyway. The tape cuts. Now we're looking at a development workstation. 1996. And sitting inside a root directory, buried under engine tools and rendered tests, is a file that has no business being there. Soul_recovery. She. 11 megabytes. In 1996, that's enormous. That's not a tool. That's not a renderer. That's a process. I had the file name analyzed by 2 former game developers and a cognitive scientist. Their conclusion: this isn't metaphorical. The architecture inside this executable mirrors early attempts at neural state mapping, essentially digitizing the patterns that make a human mind function. Nintendo wasn't just building a game. They were building a vessel. The question nobody wants to answer is, a vessel for what? And more importantly, did it work? The next 30 seconds of footage answers that. His name was Kenji Mori, lead physics engineer on the Super Mario 64 project. Internal records I cannot fully disclose, indicate he died on March 19, 1996, an incident described only as an equipment interface failure during beta integration testing. Nintendo's official position: he never worked there. But the footage doesn't lie. That figure on screen, that is not a glitch. It is not corrupted geometry. What you're looking at is a digital consciousness, the last mapped state of a human mind, running on hardware that was never meant to contain it. And the text? Why are you watching? That's him, reaching through 28 years of dead code, looking directly at whoever hits play. But here's what nobody could have predicted. When soul_recovery Esche captured his neural state. It needed a container, something already built into the game's architecture, something with a skeleton, with movement, data, with a face. It used Mario. Not a copy, not a skin. It hollowed out the character from the inside, overwrote the jump animations, the idle cycles, the smile, and wore him like a uniform. That's why the figure is taller. That's why the proportions are wrong. Mario's model was never designed to hold a human soul. It's stretching. He has been waiting in that cartridge, alone, in that gray, empty world with no sky and no music and a shadow that moves without a body. He knows you're there. And then, near the end of the tape, whoever was filming steps back, and you see it, the N64 is not plugged in. The power cable is coiled on the shelf beside it. The cartridge is seated, but there is no power source, no battery backup, no secondary feed. The game is playing itself, and here is where I have to be honest with you. I digitized this tape on March 3rd of this year. I uploaded the RAW file to my editing drive, and 3 days later I found a new folder on my desktop. No name, just a blinking cursor. Inside, one file, no extension. 47 gigabytes. I haven't opened it because I think I know what's in it. I think the transfer didn't go one way. I think whatever was living in that cartridge, whatever Kenji became, I think it followed the signal home. If you're watching this, so did it. Check your desktop. Null point files. We find what they bury.